Hey, Ian. So, things slowing down a little bit?
No, actually, not so much because there's a long queue of people who are still yet to pay. You know, they've pledged some amount,
Yeah.
and the complication that there are a bunch of people that keep trying to bring more of their friends in onto their own purchase or add onto their purchase. You know, we don't really want such a long tail.
Right.
We've got to close the sale out, but I mean, it's looking really quite good.
Okay. Well, I'm actually glad to hear that there's a long queue, despite I realize it's a lot of work for you guys, but that's
Well,
that's good for the co-op.
yeah, I'm doing more a little bit the technical side. The co-op has a couple agents who are actually handling the calls and doing the sales. So they're more in the finance and legal realm.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they're
One
using.
of them.
And Ian's struggling to get the membership registration back up so that we have enough members to beat the large.
Yeah, let me explain. So the website that was used for the private sale is almost ready to go. I mean, within like maybe an hour or two to accept just membership. There are a couple complications. Like one, the big one is we don't have any way to take the $20 right now. The folks in Seattle hit a couple bumps with BitPay. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, like Greg, who's away on his honeymoon, has control of the BitPay account. We temporarily switched that over to Ed Echolt's holdings account, and then back to Greg. And I don't even want to use BitPay. I want to switch to maybe one processor that can handle everything, including PayPal and Ethereum and Litecoin.
Yeah.
But to do that, we have to round up so many people, the accountant, and get sign-offs. And you get the picture?
I get the picture. It's well, I've two things to say before we move on. One of them is, if you think it's only going to be a couple of days before the payment issues can be resolved, it might be worth your while to wait. The other thing is that application that was built for the registration, that worked really well, and I think that web developer is really good.
Yeah.
But I really think we need to test it before we put it live for members who we don't know.
So let me tell you how that site is set up. So on the back end, there is a database that they have really strict security controls on. So when someone uploads a photo ID, something like that, it gets encrypted, put into the database, and just a couple people have access to it. I'd
Nice.
like to see that access opened up a little bit so that there might be an admin portal through which the folks doing the member validations can look in and see the photo ID, match it to a face on live video.
Right.
So, but right now they're only that admin portal, admin side isn't really finished. So right now we just have a few people who can go in and actually see what's been uploaded. Another complication is on the Discord side. The way Greg set it up, there are only a few people who can click the button and upgrade people to the membership role. Then there are further hurdles in Discord to guard against imposters, such as like adding a server-specific nickname to the Discord users as they come on board. So just a couple of the things. And hey, Gary, wanted to say hi, and I got a good laugh out of your response on Slack today about the difference between EOS and Archade. I love that. That was a great answer.
Thank you. I was doing a little advertising for this channel, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and by the way, when you can move on, I want to show you something on the social ledger.
So Jim, what's the order here? Jim's muted. He's talking.
No wonder nobody pays any attention to me.
Yeah.
Well,
So I guess the identity issues that we're facing are the single sign-on and the proof of claims, part of membership, building memberships of our communities, and controlling the permissions and our delegation of privileges in the systems, which I see as becoming a ecosystem of our bots and integrations that are the distributed network of facilities which eventually will be on our chain, and that the social ledger represents identity in the our chain sense of you are what you do. The social ledger in principle consists of all the things we do together. And that means integrating our tax system with our chat system, with our other systems where we work together, so that we can reify the social network and intelligently, work together.
Yeah, what I see that's great is like you guys are working kind of more on the cutting edge, the leading edge of where we need to go. But as the co-op grows, and because the administration in Seattle of the co-op is kind of still coming together. There are some short-term needs that they need to focus on first. So, like, I think you're setting the direction and pioneering some of the technology. But in the short term, we've got this vote coming up in just a couple weeks, and every member has one vote, which is very different from the way a lot of these other crypto-based companies work, where each token has a vote. So we have this need to verify, one real person per member. So that's like the immediate identification needs that we're dealing with. Longer term, absolutely, we need to put more of this on blockchain and use more tokens. But just like within the next couple weeks, need to hopefully get everyone together as members just so they can vote. I mean, it doesn't mean they have to stay on Discord or anything like that. It's just we need to hear from people who really care about the project, and not just the few people who have already become members as part of this private sale process over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that really hit the first thing on the agenda, which is the member voting. We had one work study where building MyEther failed, and I couldn't find I didn't capture the errors we got. We got to try it again. The idea was that we would modify the MyEther wallet sign message screen which I have the link to somewhere. To have a button to send the signed message to post it to a server where you record the signed message, and I was just going to do it simply in file. So when we get the signed message, it contains the vote, which in general is a rank ordering of things. It didn't seem that like Kenny wanted a way to vote no. I think we need binary voting as well, or a way to vote no. I guess you can't rank order yes and no. You prefer yes, but no's okay. I don't know. So we have. I guess the question is: it rank ordering only?
So you were talking about Kenny. Is it Kenny Rowe?
Yeah.
So, so this voting, does this have anything to do with the member vote coming up October 24th?
Yes, the idea is that we want this in place before.
Okay.
And Jake was taking the lead in terms of coaching on the development, but then he disappeared. So maybe you can take a lead on it, Ian.
I think Kenny is the lead on that. He's really kind of putting things together for the annual meeting, and I think he had a channel on Discord where he was talking about that. I'm just looking for it now.
Okay, because we have an issue on it where I addressed him on it, and he seemed to be okay with the direction we were going. If you're in the GitHub thread. So I guess Discord channel would be important news.
No, actually, I'm looking. I'm not even finding it there. So that's one of the troublesome channels. It's easy to.
I think you're thinking of the GitHub channel where, at first, he had an objection to the use case, and then he came back in favor. I guess once he understood what we were doing or what we planned to do. So I think Kenny's on board with it. The question is, are we going to do it in time for the member meeting? And is the budget I allocated? I guess was 5,000. Maybe that's not enough, but we can deal with that if we can get anybody to work on it. I don't think. I think we can probably deliver a prototype for 5,000, and getting it into production is going to be more. Is anyone else on the team that to do this? Are we good? Who's going to be lead and admin?
Jim, I can set up a structure on the RChain Mattermost site for the types that we expect to come in and do these different parts of it, if that would help. But any of you people could do a better job of this than I could.
Because that vote is coming so soon, I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny pushes for some kind of a third party, like a more standard way that if you're part of bank, credit union, or some, if you own some stock and you vote, through the mail or through a telephone, one of those outsourced systems, at this point with, the deadline looming, that's probably going to be more likely the way things are going to go this time around. I mean, I'm going to talk to Kenny about it, but I don't really see how else it's going to get done. I mean, there are legal requirements for the co-op to do this vote on October 24th.
Right, and the worst case scenario, and the scenario that people were thinking of first, is where people would actually go to, My Ether wallet, sign the message, and then email it in or something.
Yeah, but wow, but I mean,
that would be horrendous.
Yeah, it's just that I think that I mean, even just on the private sale side, a lot of these people who came in, maybe they're not that technically proficient. I don't know if they're going to be able to figure out. It might take too much hand-holding to get them all set up to vote using.
Well, it's going to take. The only way we're going to do this is, I think, is we do it through the Ethereum address where their rocks were delivered,
yeah,
or through their Discord account. Okay, I mean, there's no other way that we can assemble the members that I know of. And I guess email, I mean, does it loosely, but that's not, the interface we want to have with the users.
Well, I think the master list here of membership is what's going into the database that's on the back side of the member sign up site. It was the private sale site. It's becoming the member sign up site. So they've got a full list of all the members. We just got to make sure that that all the activists and all the people who care about the project come on as members. So we've got them on that list, and then we reach out to them, which way to get them to vote.
Okay, and how are we going to authenticate them?
Well, let's see. So that database, at least it has email for everyone.
Right.
So, and when it comes to the, members don't have to own Rock. They don't have to have an Ethereum address. They just need to pay their $20 and prove that they are who they say they are. And part of that is submitting an email, just so we have a way to get back to them. So really, I think that email list is going to be the way we reach out, get a hold of everybody.
So they're going to have to email their votes in?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet exactly how we do the voting. I
Right.
think Kenny has a better handle on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very sexy, but an email address is a unique thing. And if the members get a template of questions with yes, no, or whatever, then they can copy that out of a page and email it in, and we will have one vote per member.
Yeah, that sounds right. There, maybe we could build in some other. We can build some other stuff on as well, but definitely we're going to have to contact all these people by email.
Okay, and there'll always be, there can always be outliers that can't vote, or whatever. That I don't know. I guess when they close the vote at the meeting, all the votes have to be in by then and registered and counted.
Yeah,
if we can't use the Ethereum address, and that might be difficult for some people.
Yeah, not everyone has an Ethereum address. So it's not a requirement for membership. Just like Kit was saying, we just email a message to everyone. I think everyone also has a username and password on the member registration portal.
Okay, that would be the place to.
Yeah, so voting could be on that member registration site. We can just add something on there for the vote.
What's the technology?
It's the guys coded it up in Scala, and there's a database on the back end. All the storage is on a secure cloud-based service.
Does I guess the issue would be, does it support OAuth, or would we necessarily have to incorporate the voting into that website? I mean, it would be simple enough to do it with the /vote integration in Discord.
Yeah, but I mean, so far, having trouble just onboarding people to Discord. Not everyone wants to be on Discord. Not everyone wants to share their ID. On Discord, I think we're going to have a membership drive once this member registration site is up running and tested and has a payment method.
Yeah, maybe you need to add an alias into the personal information, so people can be unknown.
So
yeah, that's a great issue, and yeah, Jim brought that up before. I asked Ed about it, and here's the problem. So and some people may think that ROC is a security. So it's not. It's a utility token. But if it is deemed a security, what happens at the end of each year when we issue this ROC rebate to people? If that is looked at like we're paying people money, then we have to deal with all the KYC, and we really can't have anonymity because we have legal requirements that we're paying people every year. See what I mean?
Yes, but to be honest, I would worry about that when it gets close to reality, because we're not going to hit that until a year after revs go live.
That's right. Good point.
And I question the whole premise, but that's a different discussion. It's more just in terms of timing and the fact that we don't want it to be a security. I think we're going to have to solve that before it even becomes an issue. The rebate, I mean.
Yeah, no, your point is excellent, that the rebate is not for some time. So let's maybe we don't have to deal with that right now. But no. I even suggested some way that we can have anonymous members who perhaps were non-voting members.
Could be.
I still want to build the Rockstars community.
What's that?
What's that?
I love the name. I mean, too bad rock is going away.
Yeah,
Hey Jim, I've got an idea for you. So I was talking to Greg about this a little bit. So when the conversion happens from rock to rev, we got to figure out what is going to happen with the rock. So the cleanest way is to burn all of the rock, right? But
we can't do any of that because once we give somebody's tokens, they own them. They control them. We have no control over them anymore. Oh, you mean
right. So what I'm saying? Yeah, what I'm saying is we could have it so that rock can Rock could very easily live on even after the Rev. It would kind of be like a split, like the BCC split, where, you know, one day you own Rock, and then the next day you own both Rock and Rev. So what are you going to do with your Rock? Maybe we can do something fun with it.
Interesting. I don't know how if that's possible. We have time to think about it.
Yeah.
But you know, the Rockstars was created as a potential place for members to be able to publish stuff without oversight from the cooperative, and it could be a community of users of that are not members of the co-op. You know, we can integrate them or connect some channels, so to speak, with them. But that was, I guess the important thing now is before we close up on the voting, because the voting is important, and we have to make sure that it's done before the thing. And I'm not convinced we can count on Kenny to do it at this point, but contacting Kenny is an important thing. Didn't we just put that in there? I'm in the wrong log.
Yeah, Kenny. I think Kenny is heading up the you know, everything to do with the annual meeting.
Okay. So now, who's the guy who's doing the website?
The website. There's a contractor in Serbia.
Is he in Slack?
Yeah, but the project. It's like the project manager, I think, is Navneet. But really, it's myself and Kenny and Navneet and this programmer are working on that site. And the other thing, like the guy who's doing the coding, he really likes Discord, and I think he has the aptitude to do all kinds of fun integrations and bots. And I was even going to suggest, like, you know, if you're looking for somebody to code an implementation of the, you know, the dig, the social ledger, you know, this guy might be into it.
Yeah, well, that brings us, you know, that could bring us to our next thing. Now, that is important because we definitely need coaches on this social bot ecosystem, so to speak.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, Gary, if you start playing around with the bots on Discord, you can go crazy. There are like thousands of them, and it's pretty easy. You're going to go nuts. I mean, it's you know, if you want to play with it.
Well, that's interesting that you say that. May I share my screen?
Sure.
Is there a voting bot?
More than one. I mean, I've seen many, you know, kind of third-party bots that people are offering.
Okay, what you're seeing is the Mattermost. You're seeing my screen on Mattermost. I'm in the Discord bridge. The last command that I entered was dig A. And I want you to all see what's on the screen now. It says AI bot development. That's a link to another channel in this Mattermost. And it says the next one is bridge social ledger log to Discord bridge channel. And that was mentioned in this Discord bridge channel. And I hope you saw some of this on Discord. And you'll notice that I am committed somewhat to, well, actually I'm committed to the highest, I'm at the sweat level on Bridge the Social Ledger to Discord bridge. Now it says create a bridge between Mattermost and Discord. Well, that actually happened a long time ago. I should have committed to that, so I am going to commit to that now.
Yeah, you probably need to archive it.
Archive what?
The task, if it's no longer something people need to commit to.
Okay, that's okay. I'm not worried about that right now, Jim. I want them to see the process more than that. I'm worried about ever getting any recognition for this, because the video itself is record enough, right?
Yeah.
So notice that somebody else created 120 on that. I don't know how that got there, but I'll take it. But notice I have committed 240 to create a bridge between Mattermost and Discord.
Right, that's
Now,
somebody who's anonymous.
somebody who's anonymous did, right? That's cool. I'll have to stir up some chat in the channel to find out who that was. Okay. Now, what I want to say is this is an opportunity for all of you to try the experiment now. And what you should do is go to this channel and type dig A. Okay, you know that. You know that we all know the dig commands. I mean, even people watching this video will learn about the dig commands. I hope you're recording this, Jim. You're muted.
Yeah, you're recording.
Okay, because there'll be a link somewhere right around here.
Kid confessed to it too.
Huh?
Kid confessed to it. He wrote his name on the screen there.
Okay, now what I want to say is we're going to go back. I'm just going to close that cool screen out. That's one of those holonic charts, right? And I'm going to go back and look down here on the list. And it says pitch the social ledger at every opportunity. Well, I've already committed to that, so I'm not going to click that again. But it says find links to videos that discuss the Discord to Mattermost bridge. Holy cow, that's something that's already set up that I can commit to right here on screen. Okay, now what just happened is I got to play like a wizard here in front of you gentlemen, you know, where I sort of read what was going to happen. There's a name for that, and I'm not sure what it is. I think it's called predictive programming. But we are all out in the open about it here, and we're gonna use it and understand it. But let's create a norm called predictive programming. Okay, that's all I had. I've got a lot of work to do after the meeting. And why is my screen freezing up?
I don't know. You may have to reload that screen. It looks like it got hung or something. We get occasional 500 errors. I don't know. Haven't been able to determine why.
All right. Everything comes through clean on my side, so I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So a voting, it does sound like a voting integration to Discord is an option, but I think we do have to talk to Kenny and maybe Naveed and see if make sure that voting is being taken care of. Obviously, if they don't need help doing it, then we can work on something more important, like identity, which is what this meeting is supposed to be about. And I don't have the discussion is handy, but essentially a /ID integration, which will provide in /dig as /dig ID. This would do permissioning in our bot ecosystem with our personal and group bots, using in Mattermost, it's an OAuth 2 authentication. We're experimenting with that with a tool that we're using, setting up for DigLife, which is the knowledge board, which is it's a task board with 1 million integrations available for it. And what we're doing is setting up a in our settings, we're setting up an integration with for OAuth 2 authentication with Mattermost. Okay, and I'm hoping we can do something like that with Discord. We still are trying to get all these parameters right for Mattermost. Doesn't seem to be well documented. So I have a couple of issues pending on getting those straight. But in Mattermost, it's a simple matter of going to integrations and OAuth 2 applications and adding the integration and getting a client key and secret to use to connect. Which Ian, do you have this? Is there OAuth authentication in Discord?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're gonna need on Discord for that, but yeah, they do supply OAuth.
Okay, basically, what we would be doing with the /ID, it would be something like /ID claim and whatever. Okay, and then that puts the claim in the database, and that would be the verification of the, or the proof of that would be by submitting something on that address that says you have this identity in your it would link the identity in either Discord or Mattermost or Slack or whatever to, and most of the integrations are compatible. I just don't know how compatible Discord is yet. And you can attest to a claim, and the claim could be in this context for this identity, or could be you might have something like uport colon and whatever the address is of the attestation in uport, or sovereign, or by default or whatever your default identity provider is that keeps attestation to claims. And what am I saying here? Attest. Some ID. And the intricacies here come in where you have used the sudo capability of the social ledger and do a command on the basis on behalf of someone else /dig at @RChain. And this would be in general where I have a person here. It could be any social object. Oh, we're doing ID here, not dig. What I missed that, whatever was typed there. Sorry.
I'm not hearing anything. Is anybody talking? May I talk?
I was talking.
Sorry, go ahead.
You heard me? No. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is the meeting still going on? I want to say something before the meeting is closed.
I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Jim.
Okay. So so you attest to some ID address 402 East Avenue, whatever. Okay, so the idea is to be that you would have basic user managed authentication, UMA, functionality available in the communication environment through the /ID, which would initially your your ID in chat has a verified email address. It has a full name. It has a few other attributes which you may or may not want to expose. And currently the social ledger is permissive in that it allows everyone to do everything and everyone to see everything, so to speak. And what we would be doing here is putting people in control over and teams in control over what they share and what they keep, and initially collect claims about themselves to build a strong identity so that we can have strong assurance of uniqueness of our participants and have identities that are built up of more than just a few stray facts, including what who you are is what you do. The social ledger being an integral part of that identity. Okay, any discussion on that? Or, I mean, what do you think about the idea of using a chat integration to manage your bots in a highly permissioned manner? And build a strong identity. No comments?
Well, I think it'll be good for developers. They will like this very much.
So the fear of the command line is the issue here.
Yeah, only engineers are at home on the command line. There's other people who can do it when required, but for people that have no command line experience whatsoever, they'll never be able to do it.
In the social ledger, the only command line you need is dig A.
Yeah, they can probably learn that.
To that point, why don't we stop promoting new visitors to the group on Slack and send them directly to Mattermost? I'm willing to devote. I'm willing to devote 8 hours a day to monitoring the channel until you figure out how much to pay me for it. But anyway, that's a proposal. Now, I don't think we can make that particular decision between us, but there is one decision we can make between us, and that is whether or not we pipe the social ledger bot log to the Discord bridge. I think we could make that decision and go forward with it here. And then if any of the four of us get a complaint about that, we can immediately stop it and agree that we will drop it until further notice.
I think, it would have to go to a separate channel, and you would have to at least convince Ian, who just left, to do it. I think
he left. Did he leave because he didn't want to have the argument? I think we just lost our quorum then.
No, he left because he has an appointment at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
That's
encouraging.
4 minutes ago.
I'm glad you offered that thought, Jim. I mean, Kit.
Yeah.
And by the way, like I say, I feel like we may have just lost our quorum as far as pitching the.
Right. I guess it's a question of where, where to raise that issue. We have people who are not members who sort of need a place to go. Where do we send them? And the Mattermost is a likely place. Although,
is that issue not crazy enough that we could actually now put it on a list of things to be considered?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the question is, what forum do you make that in? That proposal in?
I think it's
you know,
easy.
and who are the people that need to be involved in the decision?
The updaters of the web page and whoever that person reports to, whoever that person feels responsible to. Because the only change I see there is on the main web page saying, you know, maybe it even mentions our history with Slack and the statement, it will always be there. But now we encourage new members to come through Mattermost because of better tools that we would like to expose them to.
Yeah, I guess the right thing to do with that is to create an issue that spells that out.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, Jim. I was just wondering, is this for our chain or is this for Divi?
This is bring your own ID.
Which is actually a Divi project. But but we have a channel in our chain, and I'm both in our chain and in Divi GSJ. And have we met? I'm Gary Coulter, by the way.
Hey, Gary. My name is Gurinder Johar. I actually have been on and off following some of the conversation Jim has been happening, and Jim has roped me in this initiative. So I'm just trying to catch up.
Okay. What do you know about the social ledger project, Gurinder?
Just that I played around with it. I mean, very neophyte, I would say. I know how it's implemented and all. I haven't looked at the PHP scripts, but I understand.
No, I'm not interested at the programming level. Which brings up another issue, Jim and Kit and Gurinder. This may interest you also. If we bring the social ledger on the project, I can see us partnering with them. Whereas with other platforms, you know, we're kind of at the mercy of a very large development team. Do you see that as a possibility, Jim?
I don't understand.
The guys that wrote the Dig-A application and all things attendant to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Yochim. Yochim has done all the coding.
Right.
I mean, you know, Michael and I are the two others on the team, and we've kind of just guided the development. Yochim.
But what I'm saying is, isn't that a possibility that if we adopt this social ledger project, we gain some of his support as far as his energies about where he might take the project?
Yeah, and you know, I mean, he's become, you know, he's been, you know, he I don't know if he was in the wrong channel, but in the Divi channel, he started talking about reward systems and such.
Who did?
Jim, who's a developer of Dig Life.
When did he do that?
Yesterday.
Ah.
The Divi main channel.
Okay. I didn't see it. I'll have to go look.
Yeah, and you know, there's three main threats here. One is the identity and /ID, which I'm been promoting, and you know, I guess like with everything else, an integration shouldn't be in just one place. You know, I mean, there can be a GUI for things. You can play with them from the command line, and then develop GUIs to your heart content. The authentication and everything else is already taken care of, more or less. If nothing else, I think that, the slash ID is a good test bed for our UMA functionality.
Jim, I just had an idea. Sorry to interrupt. I think it's good. I think it's maybe good. We don't, you know what? We don't need Ian's permission to put the output from the social ledger bot in the bridge channel. We can put whatever we want on our end of the bridge channel.
That's true, but that would be just way too much noise. It would make that channel pretty useless.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think the Discord users would look at it once or twice and they would just think it's a log and they basically would never look at it again.
Okay. Well, what you two just said illustrates to me why we have to have these meetings. And here's why. I thought you both agreed with me that we needed these social ledger log in the bridge channel. So anyway, I'm not saying that to challenge you. I'm just saying to state that I now have a different understanding. I'm going to have to approach this problem a little bit differently.
Yeah, we need a separate channel created, which means we need another.
Either that, or I've got to convince you why it's still okay, and I haven't abandoned hope yet.
Abandon all hope.
I don't know. Maybe so. Okay. Anyway, gentlemen, I've enjoyed this meeting. I hope I haven't startled anyone. And,
just to finish my point, was that the identity part of the social ledger, the token exchange part of the ledger, which is also discussed, or the reward system and token exchange system in the Divi channel.
Oh, Jim, did you see my suggestion to create a self-guided tour with the dig a command and one special button called continue tour?
I don't think I saw that, but I definitely been thinking about how we can do hints.
Well, I was thinking of it. I mean, I started thinking about it, and as with everything I think about, it grows into some huge deal. But I started thinking, wait a minute, we don't need to do self-guided tours. We need to make it sort of like an orientation in the office. You walk in the office and you greet the receptionist and you say, I'm here to learn about the dig a command, and so the instruction is, type dig a and boom, you're off. Something like that.
Well, I put that, in several channels. I put that as the channel header. So it's right at the top of the channel.
And did you see my idea about rewarding people? Like say, okay, here's what you're going to do. Here's what we're doing. We're looking for people who will adopt the social ledger program. And in my case, I hope they'll adopt it for the Archain project. And so we say to them, we'll give you $100 worth of, rock, whatever. All you have to do is go through our program. And our program is a dig a and a click continue the tour button and look at the screens that are up there and maybe, somebody is in the channel when it happens to make a suggestion to them? So anyway, they get $100 of our rock, but now they understand the dig A command and the social ledger. We've pointed out the things coming down, and we've gone over to the channel if we want to. It's a self-guided tour.
Yeah, I was, definitely.
And this could be done one at a time, and we could kind of, at the end of the tour, we could sort of throw in a plug to pitch the social ledger, and maybe commit to taking one person through the tour that you went through.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that tour would be implemented, well, they aren't going to magically understand what the social ledger is when they type /dig A.
Here's a proposal. We go to any channel you propose, and don't, you want this to work, right? So go to any channel that you propose. We'll look for a volunteer that trusts the two of us, and I doubt there are many channels that trust the both of us, but not you, Jim. I trust you implicitly. I'm talking about myself, but you know where I hang out. And we agree to walk this person through a self-guided tour, and the two of us in the presence of this volunteer who's walking through the tour with us, and maybe we do it in Zoom, I don't know. But we're creating it in the channel in real time in a video, which we save to the YouTube channel, which we link to as I don't know, we just link to it. It's mimetic. It gets people into the system. One more person like me. I mean, if I find one more person that gets it like I did, I may be able to retire.
Yeah, well, I've already asked for volunteers to do that, and we haven't specified the value of the bounty. I mean, I don't think we can.
Well, we have people we can trust. We could like go in $100 between the two of us. I owe you $50 anyway, so I'll do the whole $100 if we can find the volunteer. It's got to be in rock, and it's got to be at today's prices. That's what, about 27 cents I heard last.
Yeah, 30 cents when I looked.
Okay, 30 cents, $100 worth of rock at 30 cents. I think, Or do I want it at today's price, or if it goes up? Well, anyway, you get the idea. It's whatever works out to my advantage. That's what'll happen, right? Yeah. I tell you what'll happen if we can just get a volunteer over there.
Yeah,
I'll give the crypto in the channel.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure how relevant that is to our chain. If we can get funds, by putting in an issue and funding it from our chain, we can commit to spending it. And even with our sponsored funds, I think that, our early bounty should be high. And then as the need goes down, in other words, the first person to do something can get $100. The second one, maybe $90. I don't know. But Jim,
what about this? What if you show me how to set up an account where I create my own crypto and call it the Descendants of Gary's Introduction to Social Ledger crypto account, and I pay them money from that account? Does that have any possibility?
Sure, I can give you a budget. You can
do that.
You can do that however you spend it however you want. I'll trust anyone once with a budget.
Okay. Hey, that was my proposal in the channel the other day.
Yeah.
You know, trust anybody once with something, see what they do when when they've done enough to justify it, trust them again, right?
Yeah.
Does that principle have a name? I mean, it is. Does it? Is that carrot on a stick? It's not carrot on a stick because they're actually getting the carrot.
Right. You give them a carrot, and you know, it's like I keep coming back to, you know, my father is haunting me. His words always come back to me like, any idiot can make $1 million. The real challenge is spending it. You know, the money isn't important. Money was never important in our family, which it was a great blessing, I think.
Yeah, it's really important to learn early. I mean,
you know, it may be because we had plenty, you know, but
yeah, we did.
We didn't, you know, we didn't live extravagantly either.
We had it. I didn't learn to live without it until recently. But anyway,
so I guess I'm nervous about our direction on the identity front, and I want to hear from Kit and Gurinder before we close off.
Yeah, I'm not very clear if this is a social ledger call or identity call.
Well, you know,
Gurinder, let me apologize for pitching the social ledger, but now I will justify it because I maintain that it's worth it, because any project that anybody will agree to exposing on the social ledger will be immediately valuable to whatever project it is that they are working on. I personally am involved with RChain, Identity, and DiviDAO, and the video production group.
Yeah. So,
which is also video production group is also DiviDAO.
Yeah, and the connection between the social ledger and identity is very long term. Okay, because you know, the you are what you do philosophy, reactive identity.
I know that's what the social ledger is. It is your identity.
But we have immediate needs.
What is the most immediate need?
The most immediate need, I've been led to believe, is to prove membership claims and to
why?
You know, create the organizational identity or organizational identity and membership.
We're not there yet.
Okay, and then, you know, the tokens and everything else come in. So, you know, I mean, all of these things are related. None of them, you know, exist in a vacuum. So, there's the single sign-on and and building the self-sovereign identity and the user-managed authorization.
I know about all of those projects, and I'm maintaining that all of those projects need to realize the importance of the social ledger.
Yeah,
and that needs to gain some support on those projects, and they need to move forward with it. Now, having said that.
All right, Gary. We'll see you next time.
All right. I'll stop.
Oh, I thought you said you were leaving, right?
No, if you are not leaving, I'm willing to stay because
Yes, hey. Yeah, I thought you were leaving. So, Kit, your reactions?
Well, let me first say something to Gary because I don't think you're watching the chat. And you posted a question in Mattermost. What did you see on the Discord side? And
wait. Let me go look because this is critical to what we're talking about. Okay. Am I sharing my screen or what? No.
No.
Discord bridge. I didn't see anything there. I mean, hold on. Let me close something. I saw after I said, "What did you see on the Discord side?" Jim deleted a message on my side, which I didn't see. But I'm not worried about it because I
copied and pasted from the Discord channel, and I was confused as to why you didn't just look yourself.
What do you mean? I don't have access to Discord.
So you haven't done your membership. Why not? What's the matter with you?
What are you talking about? What are you talking?
Now it's not available. Shut it.
Membership is not available.
It's not available now. They took it down at the end of the sale, but you could join up until the end of the sale.
Oh.
Well,
if I don't get on the R-Chain project, I'll get on the whatever project Social Lender joins with and participates.
Well, hopefully the membership will be back up. You should have become a member. I mean, that's a handicap.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you. I consider myself, a fairly important part of the project, and yet I don't feel the need to join Discord. I honor the fact that those people over there are working on the development of Roland.
Yeah. You need to become a member so you can vote at least. So you should have signed up.
You mean I have to be a member of Discord to vote?
Yeah, you have to be a member of the co-op. When you get a membership, you get a membership you get in the membership website, and you get a Discord invitation. Those are the two things you get when you sign up to be a member of the co-op.
Okay.
Yes, but to answer your question, you do not have to be a member of Discord to vote yet. You need to.
That's all I care about. That I have time to join the co-op before I need to vote, and that I be able to vote by not joining the Discord. There's one reason.
Yeah, well, you'll have to log into the member site the way that we're looking at it now.
Why do I need to be in the member site? I don't feel like I need to be in the member site.
No, you have to register on the member site. That's what Jim is saying.
You have to register it, and that's where the voting will be. Otherwise, there's no way to authenticate his vote, unless, he's at the meeting. You'll be at the meeting, right?
No, I someone else asked me this, and I said, my health is not up to traveling.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to become a member to vote anyway. So as soon as membership is back up, become a member.
Okay. I'm not worried about it. Can we move on?
Okay.
Yeah.
When you become a member, you will get an invitation to Discord, but you can disregard the invitation.
Thank you. And not that I don't like Discord. I like the fact that the developers find it useful, but I don't see it helping us on any of the projects that I'm interested in. Now, you may not see that. That's fine. You may see yourselves, in different roles. That doesn't concern me.
Yeah.
But,
I think you know, a lot of us want to be on it. We want to help with welcoming new members. We want to, you know, see what the other members of the cooperative are doing.
Okay. For all
Gary,
yes.
Have you seen the Zoom chat?
What Zoom chat?
Well, there's a chat window. If you click on the icon chat, when you hover down at the bottom of the screen of the window with all of us in it, if you click on that chat icon, then a window will pop up and you will see what Ian posted for you. It's sort of difficult. In the Zoom, you have to hover in the right place in order to see the user interface. It slides out of view when it's not being used, which has advantages and disadvantages.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, you know what? You know what this conversation has done, other than thank you for guiding me to those messages. It has showed me that some windows don't get updated. I bet if I close this window and force it to refresh,
You have to look at the Zoom window. You should be seeing my picture.
yeah, okay. I'm thinking. Let me post something in the Zoom chat window.
Yeah. Post something to us, and then we know that we're all seeing it. Okay, so now I know that you have seen the chat messages, and the important one is the first one from Ian, which shows you what Discord users see coming from Mattermost.
Right. Yeah, when I pasted it in the Mattermost channel, it looked exactly like it looked in Mattermost. It didn't look at all like what it looked like in Discord, so I deleted it. Because wasn't how it looked in Discord at all.
Oh, this brings up something that I wanted you to do, volunteer to do for me. Someone share your screen and go to and show me what you're seeing on the.
Yeah, it's exactly what Ian posted in the chat.
Okay. But why was it deleted?
I deleted it because when I copy and pasted it from here into Mattermost, it looked exactly like it does in Mattermost. It didn't look like it looked here.
I know. That's what I want to do. I want to. Oh.
This is it here.
Okay, so that's it.
If I copy this,
yeah,
and paste this into Mattermost.
Do it again for me so I can see what it looks like before you delete it if you want to.
When I post this in here, now how come it did? I deleted it and it didn't come in. I'll just send it to you privately.
Yeah, just send it as a private message.
Okay, all of the graphics and text and type and all that didn't come through Discord. It just looks plain. But it came through. All right, that closes that issue.
Wait just a second. I'm not sure. Hold on.
What is your loop?
It appears that the bridge software strips the HTML.
Oh, I'm not. That doesn't concern me at all. Does it concern anybody?
Yeah.
But so
Okay.
then you text.
When I copy this text, you see I'm copying what this had. I'll take the whole thing.
Right.
Okay. I copy this. Okay. Whoa. I guess I didn't copy it, huh?
Yeah, you did, and you pasted it.
I searched it.
Yeah.
And I'll copy it again just to make sure. Copy it. And then if I go into a text window and I paste it in, it looks like this. That's
Okay,
not,
hold on just a second. Let me think about that.
that's not a text window. Exactly.
Those are just
But if I paste it in as plain text, then I see pretty much exactly what I saw in Mattermost. But because this had things like a clapper and it had things like other markups, had this, this is a heading markup here.
yeah. Okay.
It had all these controls.
Okay. Let's move the conversation forward. Suppose. Go ahead.
Back in here, it looks like it did in here originally in Mattermost. So depending on what the formatting and everything is controlled by where you post it to.
What if I told you I'm not concerned about, you know, the codes being parsed correctly by the chat window as I am the fact that they can see that I set up the process of building an action called bridge, the channels, you know, so on and so forth. I don't care what, I mean, if it had just been a period in the channel and I told them where it came from and what information it contained, it should impress them.
Yeah, but it takes a while to get it. You have anything else, Kit? About identity?
Hang on, I was muted, and well, I actually wanted to respond to Gurinder about joining the identity thing today, and there's a lot of overlap, obviously, between Divi and RChain and Social Ledger, and in fact, identity is part of the overlap, but these meetings tend to weave back and forth between because we're not actually developing anything in this group. We have the idea that that's what we would like to do, and we spend part of our time keeping up with the moving target because the identity landscape is changing really rapidly, and every week there's a new development that we need to keep track of. So normally part of our time is spent on keeping up with the moving target. And we also have projects that we would like to implement, but we don't have the skills. And this is a problem, well, in multiple communities, but on the RChain side, there's no, there's no newbies, so to speak. There's a lot of senior developers and people like Jim that have advanced skills, and then there's a large group of people like myself who are not coders, and they have some experience with software or the computer industry, but they're more marketing types or promotional types. And we really need to recruit young developers that want to come in on the learning curve, and that's been very difficult. So the identity development projects have been on a low flame at this point while we try to solve the recruitment problem simultaneously. So that lack of development power is also what contributes to these meetings kind of weaving in and out and overlapping with social ledger and this and that.
Right. Well, that helps to get a little bit of a context, because I think, I spoke to Jim last week when we started to look at this identity. What I was asking Jim was, is there a use case customer that he is targeting for this identity initiative that he has in mind? I've known Jim for about 35 years. So I know how Jim works. Sometimes he has a lot of things in his head and they're not written down somewhere for other people to sort of thoughts and digest and be able to build upon. So one of the first things that I had asked him was, who's the customer and what is the use case that you want to develop? And one of the things that I thought we discussed last week was the KYC for the R-chain. And that is still on the table, or if now that pre-sale is done, so is that not on the table any longer, or is not a priority? So, I guess, I'm just trying to get my head around all the initiative. I haven't really gone down the path of looking at social ledger in depth. I have not looked at, what was the other project, Jim, that you were talking about?
Social ledger, the digital life, which one was I talking,
I thought there were 3 initiatives, right, that you were trying to sort of like all weave them together.
The video production.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so video is a completely different topic then. Okay. But the identity part, self-sovereign identity and how the self-sovereign identity gets used in practical manner, it's something that I was trying to get my head around. And one of the things that we discussed was the KYC for R-chain as one of the ways to target and go in that direction and try to solve that problem and meanwhile build things he has in his mind. So I'm still learning and I'm still trying to gather. And I guess I was a little bit confused because I wasn't sure. Jim sent me a note saying it was an identity meeting, and I guess we weren't talking good 90% of the time. Everything identity. So,
Gurinder, could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why are you interested in identity?
Because my background is in identity. I've built a lot of single sign-on solutions for enterprises. I've basically been doing that since late 90s. And I think identity is security is basically my forte. So I come from a large-scale identity solutions in enterprises.
And I think Gurinder believes, like I do, that identity is a prerequisite to any application.
I concur. Every time I think of an interesting project, identity rears its ugly head. So I'm just waiting for anybody who's got a solution to come up with it. But Gurinder, you sound like you would be coming at this more from a management or a project design level, or even a marketing side, possibly. What are you?
No, I'm a technologist by heart. So
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. You're a what?
I'm a technologist. So I'm not looking for marketing kind of role. I am basically looking at getting it implemented one way or the other. So I have implementation background, development background, as well as project management and getting things done, basically whatever it takes. So that's the role that I'm looking to play. So I'm just trying to understand what the problem is first, and then see where I can help out.
I like the question, what the problem is. I volunteer to tell you what I think the problem is. What the problem is, our chain will work. The development group is going to get it built. We really, really, really need our chain. I fit into that group somewhere, but I think the best way I can help them right now is to work on nearly all the projects that are encompassed by the social ledger experiment, and more than that. Okay, sorry, pitched it again, but anyway. That's the problem. I think helping the our chain get built is going to need something like the social ledger. I don't know that it's going to be, anything like it looks like now, but this is what we need to start looking into. And Gurinder, I volunteered to teach you everything I know about it. All you have to do is tell me when to stop. And we don't have to do it on video, by the way. We've got to end this meeting soon.
So I think it would be a good thing then, Gary, would be if there's a, if you want to call it a white paper, because everybody else calls it white paper nowadays, is just maybe put together a document which talks about what is the problem that you're solving with social ledger. What have you already done in this case? What is the goal going forward, right? So if you can put something together or if you already have it, point me to that direction, that'd be great. So it will give me a good context on the social ledger. But social ledger, I think, is just one of the tools that we may use. It's like eating your own dog food.
Yes. Okay. Are you? Where is the best place to contact you, Gurinder? I'll direct message you after this meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I could be available on your. I guess you have a Mattermost is probably best. That would be a good way to capture the all the discussions for anybody else who comes in, so they can probably review it. So I'm fine with Mattermost. I mean, you usually try to minimize the amount of direct messaging, because then we lose the all of our discussions.
I totally agree with you there. I prefer to get as much out in the public to begin with, because it makes things easier down the road.
Working out loud.
That's one of our norms at the social ledger, but that would be my preferred place. Expect it soon in the Divi channel. To what username are you over there?
I believe GSJ. I'm sorry, on where are you asking? I mean, on the Mattermost, I think it's something either GSJ or GSJ.
On the Mattermost. Which domain?
Well, he's in the video. He's in Divi. He's in a number of them. But
okay, well, I'll start in the Divi. That was my.
You won't find him on our chain probably, but you'll find him on any of the Divi teams.
Yeah. So if there is a social ledger channel, let's just keep that maybe conversation in there. That would be good. Probably be a great place.
We do have a social ledger channel there, Gurinder, and I will message you there in public now.
Probably the Big Life Lab channel team would be the best.
Well, he asked for the social ledger channel.
Well, there's a social ledger channel in just about every team. But I'm saying the most general place would be in the Lab Dig Life team.
Are you on that team yet, Gurinder, or do you know?
I'm just checking it now. If you can give me 1 minute. I think
And that's one of the big confusions we're having now. We have so many different domains set up.
Yeah, but the thing is, the fact that we can navigate all these domains so easily, that particular magic right there is one of the strengths of Mattermost. The ability to get a mental image of the work of a common workspace.
No, it's just getting a bit busy.
all right.
But,
So go ahead, Jim. Finish up. Finish your thought.
yeah, Gurinder is in the channel there.
Okay.
And
Which channel are we talking? I mean, I'm on Lab Dig Live.
Social Ledger Lab.
Social Ledger Lab. Got it.
Ping
Okay.
him. And then he'll figure out where you are.
All right.
Yeah, I'll say hello in the channel.
I just said hello there as well. So if you want to.
Okay.
I'll also give this a name and call it a norm from the channel. We'll start a meme and watch it grow.
Okay, if you type /dig anywhere, okay, you get the major things here, and we have the social ledger trial document, which is supposed to be a living document.
Yeah.
And in here, we have all the stuff, we have topics for all the stuff you're asking for in terms of where it is and where we're going. I'm not sure, trying to do this again would be productive, but certainly going through here and adding your 2 cents and comments and edits to make it more complete.
This is helpful. So I'll go through this doc.
Okay, Gurinder, I posted a link to a document in the Zoom chat for you. Gary and Jim both know it, but when I first joined the Identity Project, I wrote a user story, which is kind of a fun read.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, well, we need to take this link. What we should do with it is we should copy the link and go to the channel here and do a -dig. Oh, that's in identity, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I guess can put it right in the town square here. Dig, link.
Or doc. Link or doc.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, it's also a problem. There are so many domains and channels now in Mattermost that I get lost, and sometimes I type /dig and I'm in the wrong place. Nothing happens. But whatever it should be, dig or doc. Link or doc.
Since it belongs to us, I guess we should call it a doc. Links are really, it's somewhat arbitrary. What should I call it? ID user story?
Yeah, that's good.
So is there a reason why some of the docs in the Google Docs and other are in GitHub? Just personal preferences.
Yeah, where I think the general consensus is that Google Docs is a better collaborative environment that more people are comfortable using. But we at the same time uh, moving toward, Markdown and GitHub stuff is something we desire.
So maybe we could just put a link in there to point towards.
Okay, so
Because right now in the identity project, there's only one document. Just wondering if there's a way to pull them all together.
dig A or dig activities
Yep.
shows everything, like on my screen.
Yep.
Okay, and yeah, there's only 2 links in here right now. Things like the UMA 2.0 specs and a lot of other things should be in here.
All right. Let me have a see what documents are where, and then maybe I can just put together a quick map of it.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're approaching 2 hours here.
Yeah. The only other thing is if we can, move forward with the OAuth 2, which depends on getting a response to one of our we put an issue in the CAN board, GitHub, and the peer-to-peer Mattermost support, and it looks like we got no response yet.
So I'm not going to be able to work on that stuff today anyway, Jim. I probably will look at it tomorrow. Maybe we can set, if you have some cycles, you can get tomorrow and just see if you can go through the code and perhaps figure out what the values are.
Gurinder, may I ask where are you based?
I'm in Jersey, New Jersey.
In Jersey, okay. Then I know what time zone.
And how about yourself?
I'm based in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam.
Ah, nice.
I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
All right. Good. So we'll keep that in mind. Need to set that up. So Jim, you have some time tomorrow?
Yes.
What time works for you?
I'm open tomorrow.
Okay, I'll send you a meeting invite, and then you can just accept if you can, or otherwise propose alternate.
Okay.
All right, man. All right, good meeting you guys, Gary. And
Yes, indeed.
we'll catch up another time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for all the info.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.